Dopamine is a fascinating chemical in our brains that plays a crucial role in how we feel pleasure and motivation. In simple terms, it's like a tiny messenger that helps our brain communicate with the rest of our body. Think of your brain as a control center for your body. It's responsible for everything you do, from walking and talking to feeling happy or sad. But for your brain to work properly, it needs to send messages to different parts of your body. That's where dopamine comes in. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, which is a fancy word for a chemical messenger. It's like a little package of information that your brain sends to other parts of your body to tell them what to do. When your brain wants to reward you or motivate you to do something, it releases dopamine. Let's break down the role of dopamine into three main functions: pleasure, motivation, and movement. Pleasure. Dopamine is often associated with pleasure because it's released when you experience something enjoyable. Imagine eating your favorite ice cream or winning a game. That feeling of happiness and satisfaction is partly thanks to dopamine. When you do something that your brain thinks is good for you, like eating or spending time with friends, it releases dopamine to make you feel good. Think of dopamine as a little pat on the back from your brain saying, "Hey, you did something great. Keep it up." This reward system helps you learn what's good for you and what's not. It's like a built-in feedback system that encourages you to repeat enjoyable activities. Motivation. Dopamine is also the driving force behind motivation. When you set a goal or have something you want to achieve, like acing a test or finishing a project, your brain releases dopamine to give you the energy and focus you need to get there. Imagine you're playing a video game and you're trying to beat a tough level. Every time you get closer to winning, your brain releases a little burst of dopamine. This makes you want to keep playing and working towards your goal. It's like your brain's way of cheering you on and saying, "You're getting closer. Don't give up." In everyday life, this motivation can push you to study hard, practice a musical instrument, or excel at your job. Dopamine helps you stay on track and work towards your dreams. Movement. While dopamine is primarily known for its role in pleasure and motivation, it also plays a crucial role in controlling your body's movements. This aspect of dopamine is particularly important in a part of the brain called the basal ganglia. The basal ganglia acts like a conductor, coordinating your movements and making sure they're smooth and precise. Without enough dopamine in this area, you might experience difficulties with movement control, which is a hallmark of a condition called Parkinson's disease. In Parkinson's disease, the brain cells that produce dopamine start to die off, leading to problems with muscle stiffness, tremors, and difficulty initiating movements. Medications that increase dopamine levels can help alleviate some of these symptoms. So, to sum it up, dopamine is a chemical messenger that helps your brain reward you with pleasure, keeps you motivated to achieve your goals, and controls your body's movements. But like many things in life, balance is key. Too much or too little dopamine can lead to problems. Let's explore what happens when the dopamine system gets out of whack. Addiction. One of the downsides of the pleasure aspect of dopamine is that it can lead to addiction. When you do something that gives you a rush of dopamine, like eating junk food or playing video games for hours, your brain can start to crave that feeling. Over time, you might find yourself doing these things more and more, even if they're not good for you. This is because your brain has become addicted to the dopamine rush. It's like a never-ending cycle where you need more and more of the activity to feel the same level of pleasure. Addiction can be a serious problem, whether it's to substances like drugs or behaviors like gambling. It's essentially your brain getting hijacked by dopamine, and breaking free from addiction can be incredibly challenging. Mental health. Dopamine is also linked to mental health conditions like depression and schizophrenia. In depression, there's often a decrease in the activity of the dopamine system, which can lead to feelings of apathy and low motivation. On the other hand, in conditions like schizophrenia, there can be too much dopamine activity in certain parts of the brain, contributing to symptoms like hallucinations and delusions. Medications used to treat these conditions often target the dopamine system to restore a more balanced level of activity. Impulsivity. When the dopamine system is overactive or not functioning properly, it can lead to impulsive behavior. This means acting without thinking things through, which can have negative consequences. For example, someone with high levels of dopamine might be more likely to engage in risky behaviors like gambling or reckless driving because they're constantly seeking that dopamine rush. On the flip side, low dopamine activity can lead to difficulties in decision-making and impulsivity in a different way. Balancing the dopamine system. Maintaining a balanced dopamine system is crucial for overall well-being. Here are some tips for keeping your dopamine levels in check. Healthy lifestyle, eating a balanced diet, getting regular exercise, and getting enough sleep can help regulate your dopamine levels. When your body is healthy, your brain can produce and use dopamine more efficiently. Mindfulness and meditation. Practicing mindfulness and meditation can help you become more aware of your cravings and impulses. It allows you to pause and make conscious choices rather than acting solely on impulse. Set and achieve goals. Setting and achieving small, manageable goals can give your brain regular dopamine boosts, keeping you motivated and focused. Social connections. Spending time with friends and loved ones can also boost dopamine levels. Positive social interactions trigger the release of this feel-good chemical, reinforcing your social bonds. Limit addictive activities. Be mindful of activities that can lead to addiction, like excessive gaming or overeating. Set boundaries and seek help if you feel like you're losing control. Seek professional help. If you're struggling with addiction, mental health issues, or movement disorders like Parkinson's, don't hesitate to seek help from a healthcare professional. They can provide treatment and support tailored to your needs. In conclusion, dopamine is a remarkable neurotransmitter that plays a vital role in our lives. It's responsible for pleasure, motivation, and movement, making it a key player in our overall well-being. Understanding how dopamine works and how to maintain a healthy balance can help us lead happier, more fulfilling lives. So, keep your dopamine system in check, and remember that moderation is often the key to a happy and healthy brain. Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed the content and found this video insightful, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more engaging videos just like this one.